All right. You were young, and you were in the halls of the Temple of the Maiden Thrice, and though you don't mean to eavesdrop, you can't help but overhear. You see you spending too much time with her. She's a bad influence over you. Cornea's voice, and then Albina, her smaller voice echoing against the stones. No, she's not bad. She's good. She's my friend. I not see you being distracted, pulled away from the path that we've set you on, that likes of a thing as mischievous as her. You'll do as I say. Go. You hear the little pittering footsteps. Pause on the stone as Albina makes her way from Coroner's office. Catch a glimpse of her lingering at the intersection. She doesn't see you. See her. Her head's down. She sniffles a little. Walks down the hall.
I sort of retreat into the shadow even further, knowing Coronet is close by.
You, just as you have that thought, you see the shadow of the tabaxi cast by the lanterns crawl up the wall at the far end of the intersection. You see the silhouette of her feline tail swaying back and forth. You see her looking through what seems to be the pages of a book. She closes it, heads back into the office, and you hear a strange sound, like a sliding of wood, like a cabinet being opened and closed. And she heads back out in the hall, glances both directions, and heads the other way. Back in the present. If there is such a thing. Dock. Butterflies are being carried on the light breeze. You see one of them land on what seems to be the imitation of a halfling. Plants, vines, flowers growing in a way that looks like a halfling carrying a bucket of water. Must be coming back from the well. They're not moving much here. Pretty sure they're on their way back home.
Doc drifts a little bit through town, sort of studying each of the individual plants and the way they sort of come together, the way they've grown up around in this really unusual fashion, trying to just take in as much of the elements of nature and holding in her left hand maybe a small journal, maybe making a few notes, sketching out something just for reflection on later as she sort of weaves her way through the people that aren't really people.
Leads you past an orchard of peach trees and what seems to be a fence, a low house, and back to where you see your friends seem to be getting their day started.
Yeah. She stows the journal and pen and sort of the pack and just approaches towards the group, um, feeling this weird sense of disconnect as she remembers um, a lot of events of the past several days that she feels familiar with, but also disconnected from. And she approaches whoever is closest, and it's just stands amongst them, looking around and waiting for people to finish getting ready before they have a conversation of some sort, where they discuss what's going to happen next.
I think it's Casey you run into first.
Doc, you're back. Good. How'd they take it?
Well, huh?
Like, because, I mean, they said the trees don't really like fire, but, I mean, you explained it to them to where they can see the value in it, right?
Oh, not yet. I have not spoken to plants yet this morning. I thought we would, um, yeah, I thought we'd like talk first amongst ourselves. And I don't know if these plants are on the same like wavelength and the same kind of circles, social circles as the other plants that you burned.
Well, I mean, probably not, but they do seem a little reticent when I let them know.
I think
So,
that's I think that's just the fire in general. I don't know. I'll have a chat with them, but I don't think I'm gonna be able to convince them that there's such a thing as good fire.
I mean, well, that's just not true.
I'll see what I can do, she says, sort of smirks a little bit and continues on. Uh, Happy to be back where she's always been.
Has definitely not been missing for some time. Always been there.
Um, so, uh, actually, before she moves on, she stops and pivots and it's like, well, actually, uh, may as well start here. What's remind me again, uh, what the we're doing, kind of. I kind of remember, but I'm also it's a little hazy.
Yeah, no problem. So, this guy named Cord ripped us off. And so, we're finding him and we're getting our cookies back. And then we're making him lead us to the city of Lux.
Right. I remember some bits and pieces. I think I need to ask someone else just to make sure I understand. But thank you. She says, seeming a bit confused.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, Lux, Queen, Shalati, Tower. Back home, maybe.
Right. Okay. Sound perfect. And she turns to go and try to find Esmond or Sal or someone.
Yeah. So, as Ava goes about searching for Esmond, what does he see all of the other people doing? You'll find Esmond last. Or she, excuse me.
Peach is not letting Sal out of her sight or threat range, which might be annoying to him. But whatever he's doing, she is doing as his shadow.
Array is under a tree, nibbling from one of the tree fruits, but her nose deeply buried in a book that looks older, much, much older than she is.
I think you see Somsel with Araya, and Somsel's fallen asleep, kind of like has accidentally slid and is leaning against Araya, and there's like eaten pear cores like on the ground around Somsel.
Araya has like bundled her veil onto that side of Samsel as kind of like more pillow and comfort. Like I imagine Samsel would hit her shoulder, right?
Yeah,
Like
she's
okay,
way
one
shorter.
arm
She's
wrapped
way
around
shorter.
with like holding the book and like just with struggle flipping pages, but yeah.
And I think you see Fane kind of in the field, and he's got his hatchet and his shield, and he's going through like he's long, but he's going through seems to be training katas, but you realize they're ones you've seen Ishtalan do before.
I think Ishtalon is on the side of the field, keeping half an eye on his kata, half of her attention on oiling her bowstring, and then another half of her attention, because she has a lot of it, on harrying Albrecht. Basically being like, come on, are you sure you don't want to test your bow against mine? Let's see who's the better shot. It's been a long time since I've had practice. I mean, like, what about that bull right over there in that tree? Well, maybe not the trees, perhaps they wouldn't like it. But that, basically in that vein, regardless of his response.
Sal with a shadow.
Is that the end, or did you freeze?
A mystery.
I think you froze.
The master of suspense.
He's so good at this.
Peter, I
Yeah.
think he's cheating on you with Mose.
Yeah, I guess till he gets back. Ava, yeah, as you glance over toward the people in the field, you see that there's a man that Ishtalon is talking to that is both, well, unfamiliar and familiar. He's red-haired with a good beard. He's you can tell by the feature of his body. He's not particularly old, but he's clearly been away from civilization and like the conventions of grooming quite for some time. Like it seems as though there are tattered pieces of what seem to be contemporary armor and clothing, but a lot of it's been replaced with animal fur or bits of tree bark and things like that. He's barefoot, but there is a bow across his back and a quiver of arrows on his hip. And you can see that he's kind of squinting at Ishtalon, glancing at some distant object she seems to be gesturing toward. And you find Esmond. Where's Esmond?
Probably not too far from where Albrecht is. Studying his own tome, a spell scroll specifically, but also like pointedly looking back up and checking to see that Albrecht is still with us.
Ava will definitely step up and have this conversation here in a second with Esmond. But real fast, I think, Sal, your internet's back. Did you want to?
All right, I can just do that thing real quick. I exist, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Sal going through his regular morning routine with a shadow keeping watchful eye on him from a distance. Makes a cup of tea, makes some breakfast. That's part of the primary serving routine to make everybody eats. Something Peach normally does, but he's helping with. Sits down on a log, reaches over with absent-mindedly, trying to hand some food to someone that's not there. Realizes Poppy isn't beside him, and then turns to Peach and offers her half of his breakfast.
Thanks, Sal. Hey, how are you feeling? I know you've kind of been knocked for a loop or two or three. Are you okay right now? She gets the intention that the food on the plate is not particularly intended for her. It's like all bacon and Aranaka food.
Yeah, I'm fine. Just a lot of changes, and thought maybe you could use protein as well. That's extra help in there. That's a lot of hiking.
Yeah, of course, um, one to be concerned about nutrition and all, and it's nice to see you looking after somebody who's not just your own self. But Maybe you could tell me how you're actually feeling, though, because you seem like you are half asleep, Salad Moral. And I know this is the Feywild, but this is also real life, right? Are you doing all right?
Yeah, I really am fine, or as fine as I know how to explain. If I seem half asleep, then I'll try to wake up. Maybe I'll actually give Hakeem a whirl if it doesn't upset my stomach like it always used to. But this is a strange place in strange times, and I'm a stranger to. Um, I just
You
feel like
ain't
a
a
bit of a
stranger.
stranger.
You ain't a stranger to any of us, Salinger. Yeah, strange place, strange times, but hey, you are back, Sal. All right, and we missed you when you were gone. You didn't take anybody's spot. You didn't. You belong here with us. With. She stutters a little bit. You belong here. You know, wherever we are, right? We should be a group, all of us in ships.
Yeah, no, that's silly. It's not even a modicum of what Ishtalan must feel every day. So I got nothing to worry about. Just shake it off.
You can still feel it, Sal. I mean, I can only imagine that kind of disconnect, right? Because you blinked in and out, right? But the rest of us had a 22 days, That's even if you didn't grow up to become a langy, you did miss a couple of weeks of time, and I imagine that must be discombobulating. And you're right, it's nothing compared to what poor Ixalan is probably going through constantly all the time. But, you know, I care about Ixalan, but I care a little bit more about you. So I just want to check on you in particular.
I appreciate that. You're doing great. Um, just less of the Alenge talk, if you don't mind.
I'll
Makes me
never
uncomfortable.
mention him again. Oh, actually, I know I just literally just said that, but at that point, Peach would, let's say, yeah, we can absolutely write him off of any of our oral history books, but I've been meaning to ask, do you want to take a look at that letter? The one that a version of you wrote 1,000 years ago? Just, I don't know if it'll like hurt you or break you or anything, but I've been hanging on to it and I just figure before I never speak about Alingi again, did you want to take a look at it?
Whew. Maybe at lunch. That's just feel like Ez might have something to say about paradoxes and all kinds of mess that I don't even know if I should touch that thing.
No, you ain't the person who wrote it, so I can't imagine. But sure, we can check with Ez, but hadn't been any paradoxical with me reading it again and again over the past 22 days.
All right, fine. He holds his hand out and closes his eyes.
Peach would present him with a letter from the version of himself, or rather from Alengi. Does he break? Does he blink out of time and existence?
Let me see if I have a
While Sal is scanning it, Peach will say what she remembers from it. Look, you seem to have, or not you. I'm sorry, not you. There was a Salinger Moral who fell back through time 1,000 years. And when he was leaving the town behind, he left this letter knowing that we would encounter it in our own timelines. So it was waiting at the post office 1,000 years for me. And, you know, honestly, I know it ain't really from you. It's from a version of you, sure, but sounds your moral that I know and, who's standing right here in front of me would never call me Proserpina.
It does sound like something I would do. Maybe not your name with full pronunciation. That might have been just a matter of course to make sure the addressee ended up in the right place. He squeezes her hand once. This is something I'd write. It don't make any sense to me. There's only one me. He crumples the letter a little without realizing he put some grip strength on it.
No, Sal, that's what I was trying to tell you too before we long rested. Uh, Earlier, when we were at the cidery, the person who wrote this letter isn't the same you that you are. That it isn't. It's some other version, some other split off. You are you. You didn't write this letter because you never fell through time. At least that's what I think. But I know that you were concerned that there wasn't enough Salinger in Olengi's Pass. You didn't have a statue of your own self. So I figured you'd want to see the record that you left. Or, you.
Yeah. Mm. Yeah. He says, and then he just kind of clams up. Oh, I don't know. And he goes back to just kind of packing things up, cleaning up, making himself busy. He seems uncomfortable.
So, look, I ain't trying to make. You can tell me I'm a. I got a reputation of a gossip, but I don't actually share anybody's secrets. You can tell me how you're feeling. And if the letter made you feel worse or what have you. I just want you to understand that nobody expects you to be this mythical figure. We're also glad that you are back.
He kind of growls the next part. We do the best to do that in my voice. It ain't that. It's I'm worried I ain't me, and that whoever fell through was me, and I'm just nothing. And then he kind of stomps off a little bit so you can't follow.
Right, if Sal doesn't want Peach to follow, she will follow carefully and without him noticing rogue skills.
Yeah, Ava
But we can move
watches
on to
all of
another
this,
scene.
just views as Sal stomps off, and Peach then waits a moment and completely disregards his clear desire to be alone
He
before
tails
making
him
way
and
over
he passes me to keep
to
going.
talk to Esmond.
Yeah, so you find Esmond, I think if I recall, he seems to be studying Albrecht from a distance.
Es, hey,
Ava. Oh, man. You feeling all right?
uh, she thinks to the conversation she just witnessed. Yeah, I think so. It's weird. I I think yes. Uh, but catch me up to speed. I remember most of this, I think, because I was here. But, in one of those instances when I wasn't fully here, maybe? I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Short version is we were returning to Shepson from Balangay's Pass. party got split up at some point. We reunited, traveled a bit longer, and at some point, without realizing, crossed thresholds into the Fae, and an individual that we met advised us on
The cookie guy, right?
yes, Korid. Yeah, the cookie guy. He advised us on how to reach the capital of Lux, and we opted to do that because there was. Once we realized we were in the Fae, and he was describing on the means of navigating out of the Fae, there was disagreements were had about what our next actual goal should be.
Wait, okay. It's we were either gonna go back home or to the tower or to the city of Lux, right?
Yes, and it was decided that the city would be the best option to us for several reasons, and we began making our way. And at some point, no one but Peach seems to recall, but we traveled for who knows how long before we seemingly gave up on that path or were drawn off of it. It's not entirely clear, I think. And that's when we all woke up being drained by those vines, escaping from whatever that giant thing was after getting away from that incident, and then meeting up with Albrecht, who, despite circumstances, was able to guide us back to this place of safety.
Okay, right, okay. And when we thought we were in the city for a short while, right? When we were actually in the plants. And then Casey burned them? Or
Well, yes, and also I exploded one of them with a fireball,
right,
and
they
it
didn't like
erupted.
that.
No, no, it did not. It screamed. It's the first time I've heard a plant scream, so that was great.
Yeah, it's awful. Be glad you can't hear him. Okay, so all right, everyone then we ran into him and I remember meeting him a little bit. He's like he doesn't seem all there, right?
He's definitely been here in this plane for a long time, but being here and Esmond gestures towards the Glenhollow place that we're in. This place, Glenhollow. When he's here, he seems to be more of himself. At least he's not fending and fighting for his life, and so it provides him, all of us, a moment of respite at least.
Okay, yeah, got it. I think it's all coming back. Basically, it's almost impossible to navigate. We can't tell time or direction, and we really need to get the fuck out of here.
Summarizes it all. Yeah, yeah. We
Okay.
haven't yet had a chance to discuss what our next maneuver was going to be. We just we got here uh, maybe half a day ago, if that makes sense for time in this space.
Yeah. Okay, okay. Um, yeah, it fits. It's sort of cemented back in. Thanks. I remember what I was doing in the fields now. I was prepping the spells for today, and I have some ideas for options we could try to consider to try to get some information before we uh try to get out of here. So, do you want to is everyone ready to round up for the day, you think? I mean, they look ready to go to me.
Maybe let's see where everyone's at. No, I have something I want to talk to you about, but it can wait. Maybe if
You
we
sure?
have time. Yeah, it's not an immediate concern.
Well, you might want to raise it now, only because things have a way of slipping away, and time, I don't know, things we want to do.
Yeah, okay. If we have time, maybe do you want to? And Esmond pulls out the clockwork arm from his bag of holding. Uh, I estimate it would take a handful of hours for you to perform a surgery and attach these digits to my hand. Do you think you'd be able to do that if we have time today?
Oh, yeah, shit. Here?
It's not ideal, but if we don't leave immediately to begin another trek into the Fae, we could take the day, and you could perform the surgery. And
Man, I don't know. The animals around here.
between you and Araya, I feel like that after performing such invasive surgery, it would be quick enough to heal at the very least.
Yeah. All right, we can weigh that. I don't know, something about this place and how messed up time is. Do you ever get worried that, I don't know, that if we stay here, every minute we stay is like 10 minutes somewhere else, you know what I mean?
It's from what I've read about the Feywild, that is something that can happen, but also the opposite can happen. It's there are no hard studies, hard facts about how this plane operates, really.
Yeah, I was trying to remember what Seifert told me about it. I bits and pieces. That's one of the ideas I had, but okay, yeah, if we're gonna if we have the time, if that's what we decide, um, I'll do the surgery when you're ready. She looks around. I mean, at least it's, I guess, safe. Um, ish. As long as this is a safe place, then maybe we should do it here and get you up and running. Anyway, let's find the others and yeah, we'll figure out when we want to do it. But I'm down for it whenever we can. And do you mind if I look at it while we walk? I just want to kind of get an idea.
Yeah, sure. Let's go ahead and do that. And Esmond will actually send Zephyrus off to begin collecting people to start meeting at a central point wherever we set up camp or eat or whatever as they walk.
DM, does Ava have the same level of confidence that Esmond has in terms of how long the surgery would take and how capable it would, how feasible it would be for her?
Yeah, it's pretty close. Esmond's probably not accounting for the preparation time that you need to do before it, but in terms of the actual surgery and the healing with the use of magic, that sounds about right.
Oh, and a point I forgot to mention as well. Esmond would have brought up that in the crystal matrix that was brought with them from the stone tower, there are a bunch of notes about performing prosthetic style surgeries as well. So that's like something that he would have brought up to reference as well for the surgery.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, and try to get together the group of people and talk next steps.
Yeah. Before too long, all of you have gathered probably at the cider.
Is that like the central building in the town?
Yeah, pretty much, at least for the area that you're in.
The bar.
We all meet in the tavern.
Araya has just like an armful of plum peach fruit snacks.
So, Ava sort of just walking around. She seems like slightly, yeah, she's holding the arm and sort of pacing a little bit as she talks. So, I had some ideas for things, but I feel like I'm still getting my feet back under me. So, Did you guys already talk about what to do next? Or how we can get out of the Feywild and all that?
No, we only got in recently before resting. I wanted to speak with Albrecht a bit more and see what he could tell us about this place.
Oh, right. She looks to him. Hi again.
Albert doesn't seem to respond to you. You see him kind of staring off into the field. He's like sitting on the ground and thumbing like the edge of an arrow.
I'll catch up with you later.
I mean, first thing is to find Cord. If anyone can track him, maybe, zero in on the cookies or something.
Again, I really don't think that's a priority for us.
I mean, if you know another way out of here.
Then finding Cord? I feel like looking for a way out would be easier than trying to find him in this place.
Basically, I had two ideas to try, and one of them, the more I think about it, I don't think it'll work. But, she looks around. Wait, yeah, just in this. All right. Yeah, I think we should, I can try to talk to the plants around here after we talk to Cord, see what he says about trying to find a way out. Or I thought, wait, didn't he say it was he couldn't find a way out? Isn't that why he's here?
Oh, I tried talking to the plants, but I think it takes you years to hear a response.
Oh,
That's Albrecht. The
What?
Cord is he's speaking to Doc and points at the guy staring off into middle space. That's Albrecht. Cord is the one that's
right.
somewhere else.
Yeah, Cord's the cookie thief. Albrecht.
Yeah,
Albrecht.
Albrecht's stuck. I think this is what happens if you're not, from here. I don't
Do you
think I
think-
can help him.
It might also happen if you spend a long time in a place that is trying to kill you all the time. You don't actually know what is real and what is not.
So what doesn't kill you makes you insane?
Sounds about right to me.
Oh.
Esmond is going to slowly approach Albrecht and gingerly touch his shoulder to kind of pull him back into the moment. Albrecht, sir? Hey, sorry, we were having discussions. We were hoping to get your input if you're willing.
She wasn't here before. Go.
No, I was here.
She was not.
She was and she was not. It's complicated, but she's part of our group. This is Ava.
I know, we've met.
Albrecht, I wanted to ask you. You had said that you have been unable to find a way out of this place, right? You've been here for a long, long time.
No, I have 4. But I'm keep coming back.
Have you ever come across a tear in your travels across this plane? A almost like a rip in the world in front of you that appeared to lead somewhere else.
I know not of such things. But there are places where this place and that place aren't so different from one another.
Okay. What's that place? What place are you referring to?
As you described, when you came here. blowing of mist, there are times when this world and the other are near.
It is possible. Corid seemed to be very surprised by the snow. So maybe if we go back to that area that was really cold. Someone mentioned that. I
Yeah,
don't remember
cold.
who.
Yeah, I was. She like kind of nudges Casey. Yeah, if we can find maybe some temperature that's not usual for this area, it might be like a different way of figuring out maybe an area that's influenced by our place and not necessarily just the Feywild, right? Like we need to find more snow.
Could you take us someplace, Albrecht, that we could potentially recognize as where we come from?
I know of one who may know.
Okay. Then yeah. Do you know how to find this person?
I've seen her before. I could find her again. She is as likely to kill us all as to help us.
That
Is it one of
sounds
the? Is it one of
less
the
good.
Archfey?
That's far less promising than I would have liked, but it's a start for
No,
us.
no.
We
Wait,
passed
wait.
by an area that was very cold for a while. We just did not go
Yeah.
there.
On our way
Can
here, it
you
was
not-
cold.
Can you not take us back there?
You said you have to know the way, right? Like in order to get someplace you have to know the way to get there, right?
It's the nature of this place.
So she looks at it. Does he have a really long unkempt beard?
Mm-hmm.
She says, when you first came, when you first arrived, how long was your beard?
He reaches up, touches it. I should shave.
Did you have a beard when you first arrived?
No, I don't keep a beard.
Okay. I'd say I'm gonna try my suggestion. Based on the things that he's already described, and from what I remember of Cypher describing it, I think we need a guide, and I think I can maybe get us a guide.
If knowledge or knowing a thing is how you get to a place, what if I know what the thing looks like and what it feels like, but from a different side? She's looking at Albert.
Chance. This place seeks always to lead you from the path.
There's a thing that we know have to be in the Feywild. Can there be a place in another place?
Say that one more time. I have you maxed out.
It's real quiet.
Did I hear you?
If the place that we know, does it have to be in the Feywild, or can it be in another realm?
You ask me. It's though there is some clear answer to your question. I think there is a hope. If you know the way, there's a chance you can find it.
We don't. So let's just try to get out.
Well, okay, so Ava, what are you referring to when you say that you could maybe find us a guide?
Yeah. A fey creature that's supposed to mostly help people.
Those
can-
exist?
Yeah, I mean, at least I heard stories. Cypher described them to me, and I can use magic to bring one around. And then if it's hopefully it knows and will lead us. And that's kind of what they do.
What do they get out of it?
Are we all here for this?
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's there.
It's
Yeah.
they're
We
called a
we we followed a Fey person's directions before, and it got us straight lost, and then arguing with one another, and then almost killed by vines. So how do you know your Fey contact, and
it's
what's the
just
resume?
it's just the stories. They're called pathlighters, fairy pathlighters, and they're supposed to be good, and they're supposed to help people when they're lost in the Fae. That's the story.
This is something you know how to do and you haven't told us this entire time?
I, for some reason, was just kind of not thinking. It's like I wasn't even here all
This
together.
place, it does it to the best of us. It's very confusing.
But it's a chance. And if you already tried, did you actually talk to the plants? She asked.
Yes! And I think that they were about to reply to me, but it would have taken more than just that afternoon.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And
But I was using my words to talk with him, not like, you know how Casey does the inside his head thing that we can all kind of talk inside his head together? Not that.
yeah, and we got the impression from, and she nods toward Albrecht. You know, our local guide, I suppose that this place would be safe enough as long as we didn't damage it or do harm to it.
Okay. Well, I can try to also talk to the plants and see if my magic works any different, or if it's the same magic, just cast different. And or at some point we can try to bring about the Fae, and we'll take our chances that the stories are right and that the magic that I'm doing is right, because it's all kind of speculative, honestly. It's a gamble like anything else.
Can clarify for me for a moment? The pathlighters, they can guide us to a way out of here, or like just to somewhere that we can specifically think of.
I think it is just, I don't know. Honestly, they just help to get people, and sure, they help people, and they help to bring them places. I'm trying to remember the specifics of the story. I don't remember though. I honestly don't. I just remember that they are kind of guides. They're good. They act as guides and they help people who are like not from the Fae. They're like some of the few nice Fae that exist from the stories that Cypher told me.
That's really that sounds really promising. And Fane says, I don't think we can trust anything that's from this place.
Well, you shouldn't write off an entire place full of things that are living without having tried more than 2. And so far, we're 1 for 1. He's been helpful, and Cord was terrible.
It does seem very convenient that there would be a specific species of Fey beings that is devoted to helping lost wanderers.
It must happen
Yeah.
a lot. Like
Doc,
Feywild trash people. They
Doc,
just
I
get rid
trust
of all
you,
the
but
weirdest.
I don't trust anything about this old place.
Why don't we just put up the Wanderlust and tear a hole and leave that way?
No,
No, that wasn't a good idea. Albrecht implied that doing that would not be good. I, I'm not going to put up the Wanderlust here.
Well, I mean, there's got to be some magic way to return.
Yeah, we ask a magical fey creature that's whole job is to help people.
No, like from us. Surely one of you knows, like a spell or something that will send us back to our plane, right?
Oh, no. And what's to say that any of those spells would even work the way you would intend them to and not just like poke another hole in reality and send us off into a crumbling alternate reality that's already fading away into the mystical
Okay,
nothingness?
I mean,
I
it's
know.
worth it. I mean, it's worth a try. You can't just not do things.
Yeah, I kind of, as much as I rebuff the idea of the water on our list, and I won't do that. I'm not gonna make a pocket thing inside a thing that I don't understand. But I agree, doing nothing is just we can't just stay here, just slowly dying or becoming plant folks. We got to do something. I agree with you that much, Casey.
If this place is a matter of will or belief or knowing a thing, I know my sister and I know that there exists a portal between here and the place between. And then she looks like she is about to say something else, but then just leaves it at that.
I'm sure that he knew people back where he lived as well. And
But
yet,
there was not. I bet that he did not know a stable portal between his homeland and here. Did you? And she looks at Albrecht.
I just kind of squints at both of you.
all right,
But no,
I'll
I
talk.
remember. I remember though. Gilgain mentioned some sort of magic spell. Like if a creature from another plane came around, you could use it and send them back to their plane. Why can't we just use it on ourselves?
Because that defeats the purpose of why we came. Why we decided to travel further into this realm than before. This traveling here was supposed to have gotten us back to, or get us to the Kingdom of Lux. But if we use that kind of spell to just poof us back to our home plane, it's just going to bring us back to where we first entered here, and we'll have gained nothing and potentially lost a ton of time. It might be worth trying to navigate a way out of here through the Fae, rather than trying to circumvent it.
All right, so how's this then? I'll ask the plants with magic to see if I can just talk to them directly to see if there's anything that connects them to their. Give directions. That's a simple thing. It won't take very long.
Albrecht he seems to be staring at Esmond for a moment. Glances at Casey. Then he says, "So what he says true. Do you have means to get yourself home?"
No, I don't. I'm basing that train of thought on the theory of how magic currently works and what we are trying to accomplish.
Also, like, how did we even get to even discussing it as a possibility instead of just dismissing something about the spell that none of us actually knows how to do?
I'm working on it.
You speak as one who feels they have found an opportunity. I assure
Well,
you that this place will kill you.
I mean, we've been in that situation many times before. I'm working on the spell. I didn't pay a whole lot of attention back when Gilgain was talking because he would just talk for hours and it was just it would fade in and out. I mean, you know what I'm talking about, Albert. But haven't quite got the spell yet.
That's great and all. I really think that we should be giving more attention to the man that has survived in a place with an incredibly low survivability rate. Just kind of take him at his word and not try and magic our way out of this place.
Take him at his word that this place is going to kill us. I'll pass.
Yeah, I'm with Casey. Even Albrecht, when he was trying to lead us here, a place where he'd been a lot of times, he almost got pulled off course by those sirens. I know you all didn't hear them, but they were there.
Yes, and just like he led us here, we helped guide him back to stay with us. No one survives this place on their own, fully intact.
But why shouldn't we go back if we can go back? This is clearly not a route that works.
Because that's not what the goal was of us entering here in the first place. We're trying to
Yeah,
get
we
to the
couldn't
city
come
of
to an
luck.
agreement. We argued for hours, and then we all jumped off the path. Not jumped, but we couldn't come to an agreement even then. Even when we were all supposed to have that moment of clarity where we all picked the same place. We couldn't do that.
I don't think it worked. I think Cord purposefully led us into a bunch of plants. This world is going to kill us. It's going to make us lose ourselves. And then we're going to stop being ourselves, and then we're going to be lost here forever and unable to make any difference at all. So finding a way out at all is the only way that we can save everything else. So I think we should go talk to an archfey and see if they can help us out. My book says that they're like gods.
Well, maybe not the archfey. Can we start with like the small one that I can bring up first? Okay, because it's not going to be an archfey. I don't think that I have the magic to do that.
If they're helpful, then maybe they could tell us like who not to trust here.
Let's just start small before we make any decisions. You said you want to go talk with the plants, Ava, so we'll give you an opportunity to do that, and depending on what you're able to find out, we'll decide what to do from there.
Okay. General rule, do plants. It won't take me but 5-10 minutes at most, I don't think. And then from there, we'll get some information, but like, I still think summoning the good fae, if I can do it, would be the best. And if that doesn't work, then we go Echelon's route and essentially just try to force our way out as best we can, because we can't just stay here.
I do think going from least costly to most might be the smartest way to go about it.
So, all right. I'll talk to some plants, and then afterwards, Esmond, figure out if you want to do a surgery in this place, or maybe wait until we're back in the real world. Or the other
maybe.
world.
Okay, sorry. I'll you go do that. Aria, could I talk to you for a few minutes while Ava's doing that?
She has the look like she's in trouble now.
You're not in trouble. I need a moment with you, if that's all right.
Does he read minds? She sets all the armful of peaches down on the table with everyone and follows you out, but like furrowed brow.
I'll keep an eye on these. She gathers all the peaches.
With your face, you should. With your mouth.
Good idea.
I don't know which we want to do first, either Ava or our scene. But that's what Esmond was doing while Ava was doing that.
Ooh, Ava, because we haven't gotten any Ava time in a month.
All right, Ava goes to field where there's a person or plant-like person standing with a skirt blowing, and figures this is as good as any. And
There's some pears that taste like peaches, though. Wait, so Ava and Esmond are going into a field together?
Oh, Ava's going to go talk to a tree. Or a fae, but a tree!
Okay, oh, I got confused. I thought you were choosing between the scene of Araya and Esmond or the scene of Esmond and Ava. Okay, I see what you're saying.
Oh no, it's Ava talking to trees, and then Esmond talking to Araya.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Ava. Yeah, so you move off to a secluded part of maybe the edge of the orchard itself. And then there's the,
Ava has gotten the blue screen of death.
so Esmond. You, you,
So,
you, yeah, you and Araya move off to the side of the earshot of the others.
Hey, listen, we're things are not looking good at the moment, and I know that I said I wasn't ready previously, but I don't know if we have much choice at this stage. Would you please return the sword to me?
I thought you were talking about more of the Feywild stuff. Yeah, of course. Of course, it's really hard to walk with. Are you prepared for that?
Probably not, but I I don't want to risk any of your well-being due to my lack of confidence in wanting to wield an item of power.
No, we should use everything within our grasp to be able to accomplish these impossible tasks set before us, and to ignore one is to tie a hand behind our back when we shouldn't. Yes, yeah, of course. I found that if you belt it sort of from behind, then when you try to draw it, it doesn't catch on the scabbard near as much. But I've only gotten good at wearing it and also pulling it out of the scabbard and nothing else. So good luck. Here, she unbelts it from her waist. It's like caught up in the folds of her robes. And she'll at first like go to belt it on you and then is like, wait, no, and hands you the belt and the sword and the scabbard, like the bundle.
You go to do that, and Esmond like goes to retrieve it, and like, oh no, you're going. Oh no, yes,
Bonks your
better.
face. You look down, heads up, and then horn, and then yeah. Oh God, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. Ow, it's good. Everything's okay. And he'll go and awkwardly try to begin putting
More
it.
around.
Okay, I might actually need a hand now, if that's okay.
A small purple bruise starts to form on Esmond's forehead.
Just dangerous. So I have found here. You just hold your hands up. Do you want it over or under your cape? It's not hot now, but it might be. Or it's not cold now.
Under's good. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it sticks straight back, it whacks everyone. And I sort of used my tail to hold it down, but you don't have a tail, so she belts it. It's canted. Okay, here. Try to pull it out of the. Wait, I'm gonna stand on this side of you. Try to pull it out.
Yeah, that's actually tied to his right side, so that he can pull it with his one full hand. So he draws it with his left hand slowly, and just kind of holds it outward, just staring at it, still feeling very unsure at this decision.
Listens slightly in the light of the day.
I've held it. I held onto it for quite some time, and the sword is just a tool that somebody else used. It's not bad. It's not good. But it means that you can do more by carrying it.
There's still a responsibility that comes with it, just due to its history of its previous wielder, but it's
I
fine.
didn't see that written anywhere on it. Is it more responsibility than you already feel you have now, or?
What's a little bit more tacked on? I'll be okay. I'll be all right.
Well, if it gets too heavy, I can carry it poorly. Or any of the responsibilities, right? I didn't mean to argue with you in there. I just think that what we thought was a shortcut was a detour. We thought it was a shortcut, and I believe you. And with all of my heart, I did think that we were going to the capital. I really did. But we didn't. And this place is twisty, more so than any other place. And I think our best intentions will get us more lost. I don't think this place is what we want it to be. And I think it takes us further away from helping anyone at all. We don't want to be the heroes that get lost in the middle of the Feywild, never to be seen again, and leave everything else we're hoping to do and all the knowledge we've gained. We don't want to lose it here, and here is not where we need to be.
I made a promise to you that I would get you back home and we would save your sisters. And I intend with every fiber of my being to see that through. It's... You're owed that. And I will perform any feat of magic to make sure that I can make that happen for you.
If I can help them, if I can help Abina, it would mean a lot to me. But I recognize that I fully acknowledge that setting reality to rights is more important than any one single person or any one person's hopes for reunion or proving a particular high priestess wrong. Those things are entirely secondary to what's more important. And I just want to make sure that we do this right. And I appreciate it. And if we can, and if you can make it happen, I'm so grateful. But nothing I want is more important.
For the record, your wants are... your goals are, I consider to be primary objectives as well. I will do what I can to save the world and put as much energy, if not more so, than making sure that you can find your sisters again.
Thank you. I'm not going to say I'm going to hold you to it. I promise. If we can. And if we have to choose only one sister, I can tell you exactly which one. But, you know...
It's fine. It would be my choice as well, I think, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, she is really the best. But they deserve not to be lost in a desert, too. I mean, while we're there, I'm really not a good person. I'm gonna try. Yes.
you don't give yourself enough credit sometimes. And Esmond turns to start walking back to the group. You might be one of the you are one of the strongest, kindest people that I know, and anyone that can't see that truly is blinder than can be healed. And Esmond turns to go back to the group, and he kind of ducks his head down, walking away, and starts to blush very hard, realizing what he just said, and tries to make that go away before returning.
She sort of like falls behind him, so you can't see her. Just like twisting her hands and like debating, choosing whether or not to believe his words, basically. But you don't see that. No one does, because they're outside.
Scene.
Eva, are you Eva?
Yeah, I'm back.
Right.
Yeah, she's going to. I'm sorry about that. I'm also sorry that I missed the first part of that because that was great. Actually, it was so adorable watching you two.
There was
We don't get opportunity.
triple, quadruple
I love it. I love it.
entendres
I love
all
it.
over the place.
I love it. 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 I love it.
Yeah.
Love it. I love it.
There was only single entendre from this.
Yeah, I got a chance to see the other people that put those in for you guys. You can go back and scroll through them and enjoy them. Yeah, Ava's going to pick out one of the people in the fields in the maybe middle of town. She preps. She's about to cast the spell, like looking at this flowery plant girl, lady, woman standing in front of her, and she's about to start casting, and she stops. And for just a second, she walks back into the hut area, wherever they are, and peeks back in and is like, "Hey, Sal, come help me with this really fast."
Me? All right.
Yeah. And
Peach is
then,
also there, but like a little ways away. She's not letting Sal out of sight.
okay, yeah, they're walking, I guess, just towards the yeah, the person in the center of town. Chris, do me a favor and describe a little bit the area around, again, one of these people that I'm just going to approach. I don't know exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, sure. You see the plants, like shrubs, or perhaps a small tree blossoming too with flowers. It almost seems as though it's forming like a halfling woman. She looks like she's wearing like a long dress, and the way that the wind is blowing the leaves, it almost looks as though the dress is drifting a bit in the wind. She seems, the yellow almost makes it look like she has blonde hair, and she's looking out across the field. She's waiting for someone.
All right, this one will do. If it says approach.
This one will do for what?
Oh, I'm just gonna try to cast a spell and then talk to it. I just brought you along because I know sometimes you like being alone, and I don't think you've had much of a chance to do that recently. She just keeps looking at the creature. Okay, I should be able to take care of this. She begins to cast Speak with Plants.
What's it look like as you do?
There's a small rustling, like a little bit change in the wind. Then a little bit of the lights within Ava sort of illuminate just a little bit, as though small twinkles of a star or constellation inside her, and then the twinkling sort of fades from where she is, and as the breeze kind of kicks up around this very small woman, plant woman, the twinkling sort of appears on the plants, and they kind of move a little bit as the wind, until finally the light flashes in a small way and looks like it just sort of spreads throughout all of the different vines of the tree, or the plant.
As you do, there's the sound of cracking wood as the halfling woman, just her head rotates towards you. Voice goes, Ringo.
I don't know that language. Ringo?
Festival soon. Better get ready.
Huh. Interesting. Hi, I'm Ava. Do you know who you are?
There's the, you can hear as the, what almost seems like, it's like leaves in the shape of eyes. Blink. Stares at you. No response.
Well, you don't need a name, maybe, to answer some questions. I was hoping you might be able to help us. We seem to be kind of lost in this area. Didn't know if you know the places around here very well.
Not safe to be out at night. Do all your chores before it gets dark.
She looks to Sal. I don't think this is going to work the way I'd hoped it might. Yep. Actually, I'm kind of out. You got any ideas?
Can he hear them, or is this like a telepathic link kind of thing?
Yeah, the plant's actually speaking vocally, right, Chris?
I think so. Well, for now, anyway.
Yeah, you just roll. It doesn't even sound like they're talking to you.
Yeah, it sounds like they think there's someplace else. Something about a fair or something. Oh, hey, do you think if we got the other guy and brought him out, like, he might think he knows who this is and that they might not know who he is?
Ooh, Albrecht?
Yeah, maybe this is like his place in a different place, you know?
Maybe. It does seem a little foggy at times, but the way he described it when he led us here was that this is just a safe place he found amidst all the horrifying, surreal murderscapes. That's kind of my takeaway from the way he described it, that he's been traveling through.
Huh, I see. Well,
How did you get
honestly,
him to do that? I don't even see a mouth. And Sal's kind of leaning in to the figures.
she does little jazz hands and says, magic.
Yeah, but you're also a physical. There's no vocal cords in there. How is
Yeah, I stopped trying to make sense of the world once, all of it started collapsing in on itself, and portals started opening up, and people started disappearing, and time started not making sense.
fair? Sal knocks on the wood without thinking, and then reels his hand back, realizing that's probably incredibly rude.
Well, it's good luck if nothing else. Hey, Chris, I guess nothing happened?
You knocked on it?
And then reeled back immediately. Maybe I got one knock, not a full knock.
Yeah, nothing.
No, I think it's a pretty weak spell, to be honest. I was just kind of grasping at straws. Also, kind of putting off the whole summon a fey creature, because I'm worried I might fuck it up. And then get us more lost somehow.
Well,
Almost time to bring in the harvest.
that's a little unsettling, really. Yeah, those fairy tales never really end with a happily. Maybe you're talking to the wrong tree, he says, kind of shrugging and looking around.
You want to try a different tree? Point it out to me. We can try it. I got tons of power up my arms. Wait, that's not that word. You know what I mean.
It's got to be the center of town. Maybe there's a leader or something important. They seem to be. That's intelligent enough to form sentences.
Lead the way. I'm just here to make the plants talk.
He just starts walking towards what he would perceive as the center of town while he says a few more things about. Yeah, but what about that intelligent plant that your family had? It gives you no insight whatsoever into social hierarchy of intelligent flora.
It taught me a lot more about how to treat plants than it did about conversations. You never really had any words. I'm still not exactly sure how my parents managed to pull that one off.
Meaning your parents caused him to be able to speak, or your parents somehow convinced him to become part of the family, or
Well, he was never able to vocalize anything. I don't know if that was by design or a limitation of what they were attempting, but they kind of just figured out how to turn him into a pet. Basically, he's a much smarter version of a dog or something, you know? And as far as being a member of the family, I never really thought about it. I mean, it's just everyone just acted like he was one of us, and he always seemed to be one of us ever since they introduced it. And we were so small that, I don't know, it didn't even seem all that crazy, I guess.
no, definitely not crazy. They've been wandering and talking, and Sal realizes he walked them back to the cidery, or the thing where they were drinking earlier. Maybe in there. It
All
feels
right,
like the center of this place.
almost full circle. Lead on, sir.
Is there an entrance?
Yeah, there is. And looks as though some of the trees are growing in a way that almost makes stools sitting at a bar. And wait, was that even there before? The trees, they're growing in a way that looks as though there's someone standing behind the bar.
You know, in all the hero stories, when you need the information, that's the one to ask. He points at the barkeep.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right. She hops up on one of the stools and sort of mimes cracking her knuckles. Only one of them pops, and it seems to be painful. She shakes her hands. All right. She repeats the same magic and cast it this time on the barkeep.
Yeah, describe one more time kind of how the spell might manifest magically.
Usually it's this slight breeze that feels as though an inhale is happening, but from a very large creature, as energy seems to get sort of pulled into Ava a little bit, and the energy inside of her seems to shift with the changing of the constellations that just sort of twinkle in small bits of light that blink and you miss it in terms of how long they're there for. Then the same thing sort of happens around the area she's focusing on. That sort of the constellations in her sort of dim and go dark, and then around the area where she's focusing, in this case the plant itself, the twinkling sort of appears, shimmers a little bit, and then doesn't explode out, but does like small flashes pop, I guess, and then sort of spreads throughout the plant in a sort of gentle, illuminating rush of energy. Whoa. And she looks to Sal. I'm gonna let you do the talking on this one, bud.
Why would I be more qualified than you?
You're more loquacious.
Oh, okay. All right. He walks up, sits at the bar, looks at the eyeless barkeep that's in the shape of a barkeep, but not quite. We're trying to find a way out of here.
You don't feel at home.
Honestly, with the reverberations of your voice, I feel more like I'm got a churning in the pit of my stomach.
This
Luke,
place isn't for you, but you are welcome.
Your hospitality is more than appreciated. And while we would like to stay, we have very important matters to attend to, and as this place isn't for us, we thought it might be best to keep it in the pristine nature that it appears to be without our interference. If you could so kindly guide us back, not home, toward our goal, toward path. Albrecht keeps saying path. Can you show us a path?
Dangerous to seek the path. You want to go deeper into the wood? You're safe here. Have a Can I get you something to drink?
hey Sal, she says as an aside, you know how we were kinda in those other plants and they were draining us? I think that maybe we should try to leave here, like, now? Like, right now.
Sal turns, and you have never seen him this pale, and he has sweat coming off his forehead. It's like, I think that you are certainly right, or at least partially right. But also, he looks back at the bartender that's not a bartender. I think at least part of that was true. We're going to have to go deeper into this danger to get out the other side. We're not in the thick of the woods yet before we can see the other end of it.
Okay, well,
I hate to say this, and I would only say this because Casey's not in the room. He's probably right.
oh, thank God he's not here to hear that. Let's tip this guy and get out of here. And she
No,
takes
I don't think we're supposed to tip.
she's about to put some, like, shuffling it. Her hand is in the pocket, look like rooting for coins when he says this, and she sort of looks up at him and goes, okay. And then just sort of looks towards the door and is clearly ready to leave that.
Sal turns and says, "Thank you," and walks out with it.
By the way, one of you isn't what they think.
Oh yeah, fuck that guy. Let's go.
I didn't think it would have gotten more disturbing, and there it is. Let's not talk to plants for a while, just for a while.
Yep. All right. Ava begins at a brisk walk, and it starts into like
They're
a
both
brisk
running.
trot.
They're both running.
Yeah, then you make it back to the others.
Peach was there all along, with the others, not tailing you slightly behind.
Ava is huffing. Okay, we need to get the fuck out of here, like, right now, I think.
They didn't go for the fire idea.
Just don't
get
talk to plants.
Yeah, there's something's a little twisted and messed up, and they invited us to stay, and I think we should do the exact opposite. So I'm gonna bring the thing and hope that it can lead us. I still think we want to try the idea, and then if it doesn't work, we'll just go on our own. But we should go now. We should leave. We should all go.
The fuck is a Ringo?
I have no idea, but they kept saying.
Maybe he's a kind of beetle.
I think
don't
it
know.
means apple in Elvish.
All right, I'm gonna go cast and see if I can get this thing to help. I hope that Cypher's stories were right. And
By the way, I'm here now, and I like to think that Kabeth's just been asleep under the tree this entire time, and now she's eating and listening to all this happening.
Yeah, Kabeth's just been taking a nap.
I knew she would have went with you guys. Yeah, I mean, you have the guide, what'd you call them? Guide fairies? Doc.
yeah, she's fumbling with to get to that set up as soon as she can with the piece of shit computer that she's working with.
It's just a literal blackberry she pulled off a bush.
Keep
She really just
smashing
find an
your
apple,
thumbs into
honestly.
it.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, everyone's sort of around. She walks off to the side just a little bit and cast conjure woodland beings to get the fairy to conjure the fairy. I'm
Describe
trying to look
to
up.
us
Sorry.
what it looks like as you cast this new spell you've never cast before.
All right. Yep. She starts, begins with a gesticulation of her hands a little bit, and then begins to cast, and it seems to like falter for a second as she shakes out her hand when she realizes she's trying to rush because she's been running and she's nervous. So she takes a couple of deep breaths, holds it, concentrates, closes her eyes, and then opens it back up and begins in a more controlled motion, sort of waving her hand. And as she does so, the same sort of exact. The beginning of the spell is usually the same. The energy seems to be pulled in towards her, but in this case, the object is just a space or a void about 10 feet in front of her. and it begins to sort of coalesce as different bits of stars, sort of coming together slowly at first until they begin swirling together faster and faster until they all kind of crash against each other and again flash out like stars just colliding into each other. And then I guess the fey creature is there.
Man, there's this burst of light. A small winged creature, no larger than the distance of like your foot to your knee, kind of hits the ground as though it fell from the air, tumbles around, and some glittery dust goes different directions, and stands up and looks confused, spins around. Whoa. Never been here.
Oh, wow. That's a little different than I remember the stories being. Hello.
Oh. Wow.
Um,
It kind of tests its wings and flies upward, so it's hovering about your face.
you're a fairy, I see.
Rude, but go on.
Would you mind, I was trying a new magic spell for the first time, and
You're a wizard.
kind of, not
Yep.
really,
Yep.
more of,
Doc's a wizard.
yes, I am. That's right, he reminded me. A wizard.
And the fairy circles around you once. How may I serve you, great wizard?
First tell me the kind of fairy that you are. What's your background there, buddy?
Maybe stop calling him a fairy, Doc.
And your name?
I'm not a thief. That's all you need to know.
Oh boy. Okay. Not
I
a
feel
thief.
reassured.
Ava checks, starts, as she's talking to him, begins patting herself to check if the creature, after doing a circle around her, took anything of importance as she continues talking.
Ishalon glances at Araya.
You don't notice anything immediately, miss.
Well, so here's the thing, new friend, person who's gonna help serve us. I need you to you know what? All right. I want to start by you telling me what kind of fairy you are.
Slowly squints. I don't really know how to answer that.
Well, aren't there different kinds of
What
fairies?
kind of thing are you? What kind of wizard are you? Tell me what kind of wizard you are.
A human wizard?
Oh.
The rarest kind.
Drifts
All
closer.
powerful.
Kind of starts trying to peek under your hair. Oh yeah. Wow.
Yep. So that's me, telling you what I am, so your turn, bud.
Don't see many of those. I mean, I really don't have an answer for you. But I'm here to help, especially if you're gonna pay me.
Alright. Yes, I will pay you. We need a guide. If you're a good guide, we'll give you a big tip. Otherwise, you get a low rate. How's that sound?
Excellent.
Wonderful. We're trying to get out of the Feywild, and that's where we want to go.
Does this fairy look familiar?
No.
Does it have a sack of cookies at its side?
It has a little tiny sack, but you're not sure. You're not sure if it would. Yeah.
Are we all present?
Yeah, I think so.
I nudge. Oh, I nudge Ava and I say, "Hey, Ava, you weren't around, but we kind of been through this before with a different mysterious figure where we paid them to be a guide, and I lost a bunch of cookies that were perfectly good.
You
and then
have
we ended up.
cookies?
Well, not anymore. I don't.
Whoa.
I
That's
may
why.
have given them to a different guide, so you'll excuse us if we're a little suspicious of your offer to give us guidance in return for payment.
Yeah, you
Also,
guide us,
maybe be
then
a
we pay you.
bit more specific than just out of the Feywild.
Nope, fastest route out of the Feywild.
No. We need to be more specific in that because sometimes that's not. We can end up in
Do you want to end up at the
a
bottom
lava
of the
pit.
ocean?
Yeah,
Because that's
lava
how you
Oh
end up at
yeah,
the bottom of the ocean.
a safe path back
Gotta be
to
really specific.
to the realm we are actually from, and not a new one.
I actually have a minor suggestion regarding that, depending on what our new guide is able to provide. Maybe between them and Albrecht, we could find our way to this Archfey and
Ooh, no,
lead
don't
our
want
case
to.
to her.
You don't want to do that.
I
No,
don't
but
think we
why?
want to do that.
Because we need help from like really like all powerful beings to be sort of set reality back to straight.
No, we
I'm
really
under.
don't.
No, but
Why do we need some? We just need to get out.
Yeah,
They,
let's
they
just
don't
get
have to
out.
be
We
that
don't need to talk to the
powerful.
Archfey. I
well,
think
we
that
could just.
they're
What if there
bad.
was just a message passed on to the Archfey that all reality
Why
is
do we
collapsing?
want to call? I'm sure they know about
Not
it
call
already.
them. Well,
Why do we want to call their attention to us at all?
Not to us, but to the situation. That the
No,
tower is the problem. Get the tower,
let's
right?
tell you
Send
what.
them on that. That's a good idea.
Let's just avoid the Archfey. We'll
I mean,
stick to.
if we're just getting out, like I had that covered.
We're
The
not doing that.
the plan, like
It's a bad
Ez's plan.
plan.
Yeah, no, you had a good plan. We'll use this realm to get closer to where we want to go.
It's
So
never
that's what
gonna
we need.
work.
So Doc, maybe
All right.
get them to,
All right. She's gonna take the fairy aside. She's like, "All right, come with me, buddy." And she's gonna walk over a few steps away. She says, "All
All
right,
right, Great Wizard.
all right. First of all, I need to call you something besides not a thief. What's your name?"
Um.
Oh
Oh,
wait, are names power in this area?
I guess if you don't know, you don't know. Tell you what do you want to call me?
Yeah, that's right. They are. Hmm. Mm. I want to call you. Mm. I'll think about it. I'm not thinking. I'll think about giving you a name at the end. Depends on how the relationship goes. Look, all I need is I brought you here to help us get out of the Feywild. That's it. Okay? We want to go someplace that's not safe or that is safe. Yes. Wait, let me clarify that. Someplace that's safe.
That's. I'll be honest. That's a real good idea. I know there are people from your world who come through here now and then. It doesn't often go well.
Yes, exactly. So we need to go back where we came from because we shouldn't be here and we don't want to be here. So lead us back to where it's thin and our world bleeds into this world. It was snowy. So that should give you a good idea.
Yeah. And I guess I could help you, but I mean, it would be really, really nice to be out of favor by a powerful wizard.
Would you settle for a biscuit instead?
You have biscuit?
Yeah, I got a biscuit.
Sold.
All right, but you get the biscuit once we're safe. You're not getting it beforehand. We pay for play, not pay up front. That's not how this works.
But how do I know that you'll actually give me the biscuit?
I will give you a quarter of the biscuit now.
Quarter biscuit now. Okay, let's see it.
Tibet opens up one of her pouches and pulls out a piece of wax paper and unwraps it, and inside is a pristine, beautiful biscuit with little sugar crystals on top. Nice flaky layers.
All right. Give me part of it.
Beth takes her pocket knife and cuts a wedge out, 1/4 of it, and hands it over.
Ooh. Brings it close. Sniffs it. Looks a bite. Well, that's good. Tucks it away. All right. Okay. Well, you gotta tell me where you're from.
Esmond, you want to explain it?
We are from the Kingdom of Lux.
In the dimension
You want to get back to the material.
Yeah,
Correct.
the prime material plane.
Okay. Okay, we can do that. But I've got to warn you. It might be dangerous.
Take us the safest and fastest route you know.
Well, it's not about that. It's about the way out. There's something there. Something dangerous.
Does it have wings?
No.
Oh.
Just tell us what it is.
It's a beast.
Well,
Is it the crab?
we came a way that there wasn't a beast, so why can't we just go in the same way? We just go backwards.
You're telling me to take you to the way that I know how to get out. That's the only
Don't
one I
mess
know.
that up. A beast. Well, tell us about the beast and so that we can be safe. Remember, the beasts aren't
It's
safe.
dangerous and fierce. Has big teeth. And it'll devour anything that comes close.
Then we defeat it before it has a chance to harm us.
Hey, Charmer.
You could fight it. Or you could try to sneak by. Or, well, I don't know what other options there are. But,
Is that the only way that you know to get out?
yeah. I mean, the only way to get out to where you want to go.
Is there a way to the plane? Have you heard of a place between the various planes? I guess we could call them.
That sounds like wizard stuff.
So you've never seen anything like that, or heard of people talking about places like that seeping into here?
I mean, I've seen people come and go. And sometimes people from here. Well, they'll get in other places. But, I'm not sure I know quite what you're talking about.
What other places do you know how to get to besides the prime material plane?
There's a place
That's not the Feywild.
There's a place that's... Oh, it's real sad. No, not much happens there. It's bad. Yeah, I don't like it.
We don't want to go there. Let's just get us back to the prime material plane. Guys, we only have like 50 minutes left, or at least with whatever time means in this place.
I'm ready. Oh, we have to eat all the fruit before we leave this place. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, well, I guess you should... I mean, the thing there is real strong. I mean, you might want to decide if... Are you going to try to sneak by it? Maybe you could distract it. Or... I guess you could try to fight it, but it might kill all of you.
Just tell us along the way how we'll talk as we walk. So start leading the way and tell us how we could fight it and how we can sneak around it.
Oh, well, I mean, you guys are big. It'd be different for me. I can fly around and I'm a lot smaller than you. Well, okay,
Yep.
well, start following me, I guess. Is this everybody?
Albrecht, do you want to come with us? It's your best chance.
You see, Albert makes his kind of way over. He pauses and narrows his eyes. What is this? He's looking at the fairy.
This is a guide.
Fairy.
A guide that Ava summoned to take us out of the Feywild.
Since apparently it didn't work the first time, so we should try it again.
Glances over at Ava, glances at the fairy, then all of you. This thing knows how to lead us out of here.
He's got 3/4 of a biscuit writing on the fact that he does.
Kind of quiet for a bit. Says, very well.
How good are you at sneaking?
I guess an Albert or the bear?
Albert,
Fair enough.
Well, that's my vote. She says, looking around to the others.
I
I'd
really
rather
love
avoid the fight.
sneaking.
I know, you go invisible every chance you get.
You let me lately, so it's been great.
I have to stay concentrated on this, so I can't make us sneakier right now.
I can't do it very much, so it depends on how long it takes to get there.
Barry says, okay, well, I'll take you to where you want to go, but if you guys are trying to sneak past that thing, well, once we get close, you gave me that biscuit. I'm not going with you.
Just let me know before we get close, okay?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think you'll know. Are you ready to go?
Yep, and right now your name's Buddy, I've decided.
Buddy. I like that.
Yep. So, lead on, Buddy, and tell us about how we should go about trying to sneak around this beast, and otherwise, what we need to do to try to kill it.
Well, all right, follow me. And as the fairy looks around, it heads to the stone path. Oh,
I was just gonna. No, sorry. I was just gonna say that Esmond would have pulled Albrecht aside, being the last ones to leave, but following the group.
Okay. Yeah, Albrecht is. Yeah, you see him double checking his equipment. And then he stands up and gets ready to walk.
Albrecht, are you feeling okay?
What do you mean?
I just want to make sure that you're feeling well enough for this trip, that you're ready to get back to the prime material plane.
I can't be anything other than I am. We survive this, we survive it.
You feel confident that you can find that Archfey if you needed to?
More times than not, they find you.
Well, if things go bad, if things go bad, or if plans have to change for whatever reason, I just want to make sure that we have that option available to us still. We need all cards on the table.
Roll intelligence.
Asking me to roll intelligence?
No, Echelon. Oh, wait, Echelon's, sorry. That's... Sorry. I got confused from that. This is a private conversation between Esmond and...
Yes. That was my intention, at least, yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, nice. What you wanted me to say, if this creature can lead us out, we should follow it, I suppose. He pauses for a moment, looks back over his shoulder, across the field, and he says, your friend, Ava, how did she call upon such a thing?
she has magical capabilities that match or even surpass my own.
This creature is a companion of hers?
It is a companion as a result of a new spell that she has come across. It seems it's not one that she has summoned before.
Let's see. Lead the way then.
Follow on with the rest of the group.
And as the fairies led you down kind of the stone steps and then into the forest, it's sleeping right now, but I think even the slightest sound could wake it up. It's probably hungry. They're always the most hungry after they wake up.
Not that my perception's great, but what do we even see?
You don't see anything yet. You're still traveling.
Oh, okay.
Sean starts to get a strange look on her face, but does not say anything.
You know, what kind of thing does it eat? I have a little bit of bread.
I've seen it. Oh no, I've seen it gobble things up whole. It ate a whole nymph once. One bite, oh, it was gone.
Now she speaks. She says, "What would you say is the largest thing you've seen it eat?"
I'm just saying, I've seen it eat. Yeah. Oh, there's a dryad.
Dryads are big. They're me-sized,
What
right?
are they? They're people-sized? Smaller? Halfling-sized? You-sized?
They're about the size of you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just going quiet. Is it afraid of fire? Fire?
No, it might be. I don't know if it's afraid of anything.
You just avoid it.
Yeah.
The
of
light
course.
of the maiden.
Yeah, just stay away.
What does it look like?
No, it's big and its skin's like the outside of a log that's been rained on a long time. And you could see just its mouth. Its mouth could eat 10 of me. Maybe 10 of you.
Limbs? Eyes? Does it shoot fire? Acid?
Nah, I don't know about anything like that. Goodness.
Scale? Like, is it full of scales? Or fur? Wings? No, wait, you said no wings.
No.
Chris, how... As they're traveling, Ava's trying to place this creature. Does it seem different or like any of the fairies that Cypher described in any of her stories? Or any of the creatures?
I mean, I have no idea what Cypher said. Like,
That's fair. I was just trying to get an idea if Ava would have any way of placing, like, because it's you know.
sure, roll disadvantage nature check.
Okay.
Hmm. 17? Yeah. Yeah, you remember some stories about fairies that can be mischievous, but some of them can be helpful. This doesn't sound too far off the mark.
I will, I'll burn whatever I need to, constellations to make it a 20.
What? Sorry, what?
If I use a constellation, can I change it to the 17? Can I re-roll one of those dice? Or it doesn't matter with disadvantage, right? Because it's always going to be the 17. Or how does that work?
You would choose a dice and reroll it.
Okay, so yeah, I'll do that. I'll re-roll the 17 to see if I can get any higher.
Yeah, about 7 minutes.
Yeah, bad rolls. Okay. All right, just continue on, keeping an eye out for stuff.
As the creature guides you on, it leads you to a river. Flies across the other side. Okay, come on this way.
How deep is the river?
Yeah, it's about 20 feet across in terms of how deep. It's hard to tell, but water's moving pretty slowly.
I don't trust myself, so I think I'm gonna fly, but if I'm gonna fly, I might as well cast it on somebody else. So, who's the least likely to be able to jump or swim? Beth is very good at jumping, so she's fine.
Wait,
I am very good at.
no, never mind.
Ava,
Oh, yeah, no, it would work for. Yeah, I can do it for us, all of us. She's just gonna cast Water Walk. I think there are less than 10.
It's way better. We've never had this happen here before.
And what's it look like?
Sorry, I'm really struggling with this computer. It is same sort of deal, just the energy gets pulled into her, and then around everybody else, a little bit of a breeze. Constellations shift in each person. They're individual for each person, and then sort of the energy rushes down, and mostly the light sort of congregates around the feet, flashing before dimming, and then just around every person's feet.
A question. If I fall down, which has been known to happen, do I still float or only my feet?
I think you just float on the top of it.
So my butt also water walks.
Wouldn't you normally just float anyway? Do you
think? Robes are heavy when wet. Very heavy.
Well, you're supposed to get out of your robes when you swim. I'm sure Esmond would like that.
Oh. No, so the robes are gonna stay on. I just testing. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna walk. I'm not gonna trip. It's gonna be great. And she marches across the stream and doesn't trip.
Albrecht kind of tentatively puts a foot out, steps on top of the water. Interesting. And moves across.
I think before anyone hits the other side, Ishlan is going to dip the hand swiftly into the pouch at her side and pulls out a little pinch of ashes. And who knows where? It was certainly not created in Glenhollow, and tosses it. The wind from nowhere picks it up, swirls it around everyone, so that their tracks would lead up to the riverside and then vanish when they hit the other side. And just gets past without trace.
Casey looks at Doc as he steps onto the water. You could do this the whole time.
Sorry, I've been bugging out. I've missed a lot of the conversations. I think you said.
Yeah, Casey looks at Doc as he steps onto the water and says, "You could do this the whole time."
Undo it for him!
Not the whole time. Only after your personal growth.
Casey is still tiptoeing, but he does make his way across the river.
Samsel, hikes her backpack. Running across.
Push Casey a little bit. No, okay, Casey, you need to sit and see if your butt also gets wet.
You're the only one that's worried about your butt getting wet.
You're not worried?
No, I'm not.
It
put
seems
your
like a
insecurities on
reasonable
me.
worry. No, here they are, and just sit for me, so to test it.
Why don't you just bless the river and then we'll get out of our way?
Like, there is a parable about a guy who had some like lead the way, whatever, and he parted like water.
Yeah, a genius. But here we are, walking across the water. Doc's also a genius, so there we go.
I can tell. Like, can I put my hands in the water? They're off on the safe side. She's trying to touch into the water. I think her trying to put her hand in, it's like, wheat, wheat, wheat.
I wonder if it's like Jello sometimes, where if like you really shoved your hand down in there, it would just go. Your hand would kind of go inside, but nothing would get wet. It'd be all around your hand.
I think you, as the spellcaster, can flavor that.
That's fair. Chris, do I get a chance to say what that is? Do I decide at the time of casting?
No. What's the question?
Oh, just how if you want to penetrate the water, like what happens? Do you kind of like her hand, like she's trying to put her hand down in there, but it just keeps doing like she was gesturing, kind of to the side, or can you like stick your hand straight down in it, and it's like putting your hand in Jello, but you pull it out and it's clean.
Is it like a non-Newtonian fluid to you now with this spell?
No, I think you can kind of push and displace the water, but your hand doesn't go into it. Hydrophobic.
As Araya puts her hand into the water, a bit of it splashes up into her face. See, you shouldn't mess around.
It beads right off. Like duck feathers.
I mean, that should answer your butt question.
I'm gonna sit down.
Do it. Guys, time. Come on, we gotta go.
You guys were crossing.
Yeah. And steps across the water carefully. He's got his hands out to each side, glancing each direction. When he gets about halfway, picks up the pace, slides the rest of the way. Oh, made it.
Like a sock slide.
Mm-hmm.
I think Ishlam at one point swirls up some of the water from the river to her hand, and then just like has it swirl around her hand, and then basically tries to encase her entire body in it, and then it just drops away, and she's like, "That's unnatural. Water should make you wet."
Esmond will be one of the last people to walk across, and just he goes.
Esmond, as you're making your way across, the fairy on the far side, his eyes go wide. Wait, no, stop! And there's a rippling in the water beneath you. It makes you rise up, sort of on it, and then down for a moment. Fairy's guys, don't move! What do you do?
Araya, remember that flying idea? And he nods towards Esmond.
Esmond, what are you doing? Did you stop or did you keep going?
Oh, I stopped. I have not moved.
Stealth.
+10.
Said roll stealth.
Mm-hmm.
15 with that +10.
With the +10?
Hell yeah, man.
Is that going to stand?
Yeah, why not?
I do think Ishlan has her hand out, ready to cast a spell, in like basically 2 action successions. But
All right. I'm. God damn it. I'll burn 2 to make Esmond reroll.
I reject them. I don't want them.
All right.
Yeah.
I will roll a d6 then.
What are you rolling a d6 in relationship to?
The wheel that I
Tell us more.
I'm desperately trying. The computer can basically either roll 20 or Discord. It is either or, and it struggles with one. So it is. I'm slowly going. I'm going.
I will say that.
Okay. No, good, please.
Just gonna say, everyone would see Esmond pushing his cloak to the side and is reaching his left hand towards a sword that is now hilted on his side that everyone would probably recognize by now.
So Ava has an ability where at the beginning she can sort of change the fate potentially of something, either for better or worse, for creatures that are around. I'll post what it is. You can read it, and then I'll roll the dice, and we'll just see if it makes any bit of difference.
Sounds good.
The rest of us made it to shore, Chris.
Yes, everyone but Esmond's made it to the other side.
I've got my greatsword drawn, and I'm waiting right there on the side of the shore, waiting to jump back in.
Couldn't be happier with how this is happening.
This is great.
You
Get her a
don't
little
need
wizard.
to be the tank. Don't be the tank unless you
This is the
really
role that you all have assigned me. This is my job now.
No, that's my
Right.
job. I'm the tank, damn it.
It is a dirty 20 now with a +5, so it's a 15 to a dirty 20.
Oh. Well, turns out what you needed was a 19. Beneath Esmond, you see an eye about as big as Esmond open sort of under the water. Looks around for a moment and then closes. And there's another rippling of the water. Esmond's lifted up about 4 feet as the water moves, and then it seems to move on.
He just happened to be sitting on the iris, not on the pupil.
The fairy seems to calm down after a moment. Okay, you can keep moving.
She looks at Casey. River angels were not my wisest idea.
Did you see that guy?
Did it see us?
I mean, I don't think so, but that was awesome.
Esmond rushes over, or quietly rushes over.
Ava talks to the fairy, says, "All right, listen, buddy, you're gonna have to give us a little bit more warning than that about some potential dangers, or you're gonna start losing some cookie." Here.
Oh, I'll tell you right now, this is incredibly dangerous. You should never relax at all, ever. If you consider yourself warned.
All right.
So noted.
Specific warnings would also be appreciated.
I warned him as soon as it looked like he was going to be eaten. I was like, hey, pal, you stop moving.
It's true. You're getting your full cookie. You're getting your full cookie.
Yeah, Buddy's doing a great job. No, it's a biscuit.
Biscuit. Sorry. Biscuit.
Some cultures call it cookies, and some call it biscuit, and
Maybe weapons out, everyone.
Yeah. And to be fair, Ava, I mean, it's not like... Did you see that coming before they did?
I guess that's fair. She readies her shield and continues to walk.
No, we're fine. Casey claps a hand on Doc's shoulder. Just never relax. And he walks on by her.
Everyone pretend you're as...
Ishalon nods and just seems to take it as like a serious note. I was like, yeah, of course.
Buddy leads you on through thick brush and There is the flittering glow of bioluminescent insects now and then. Here and there are plants that seem to, their vines slither like snakes retracting as you approach. Some things seem more curious, leaning towards you, almost to have a taste or sniff as you pass by. It's slow, thick going through difficult brush. Those who aren't wearing some kind of hard armor on their legs, there's no way to avoid the scratches and pinpricks, different thorns and vines along the way.
Robes aren't.
They're just getting caught, entangled constantly.
So many skirts, though. So many.
Yeah, sure, it might protect you from the scratches, but you're hauling yourself through as it's tearing them threadbare.
Darn.
After a while, you feel the air begin to grow cold. And there's a couple of snowflakes drifting through the air.
Casey smacks Araya on the shoulder.
Silently, just.
But he stops. Hey, okay, he told me to tell you when we're getting close. We're getting close now.
Has it been an hour since the river?
Do we still have
I
Aldrich?
assume not, since we still have Buddy.
Yeah, that's about an hour, yeah. Or if it has, it's not the kind of hour you're used to. Yeah, Albert's following after. He's got his bow drawn with an arrow not drawn. The arrow's not fully drawn. But he's keeping a careful eye out.
Or same. I guess she's mirroring him, but toward the front.
Somsel's having trouble getting through. Just have a jump up now and then. She's kind of getting caught in things. You see Thane using the Aegis of Brunhilde to kind of push his way through thicker vines. After a while, you start to see a powdering of snow. Pretty soon you find yourself stepping in it. The magic, you don't leave footprints behind. Before too long, just white, dim colors of dark greens all around you. Makes the sort of the ambient lavender luminescence. It seems to be persistent on the horizon, stand out against a bit more, easier to see against the white landscape than the multiple hues and vibrancy of the forest. And then you're in a wintry landscape. As you begin to approach, Buddy flares up and he stops slipping, puts a finger to his lips and says, just around the copse of trees there. Just over the hill. It's there. It's asleep right now. Stay low.
Ava stops him for a moment before he moves on and comes up to it and says to him, just very quietly, "Hey, buddy, thank you for being nice."
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. I mean, you know, if you ever come back this way and you got cookies?
I'll bring extra. Let's go.
Thanks. Oh, wait. Do I get my muffin?
Oh, yeah. She motions.
Are we really, really sure that we're actually back?
No, you're not back yet. But you're getting close. I don't want to go closer than this. I've seen that thing kill people.
Pretty sure the deal was you take us all the way.
I told you that I'm not going with you.
He did say that. I think this is as close as we're gonna be able to get.
How do we know that you're not just feeding us to some beast like the last guy?
Because I promised him more cookies when we come back.
Yeah, what do I get out of being mean to you?
Maybe you have some kind of deal with the beast to feed us to, like probably the last guy did. Just fed us to some hungry plants. We thought we made it out, and we woke up and we were tangled in vines and unconscious and eating thorns. It was terrible.
Sound terrible. But I already led you here. Like, I told you it's right over the hill. There's nothing else I can do.
Give me 1 second. I'll sneak up invisibly. I'll go
Mhm.
come back.
Mhm.
Okay? All right? Yeah, okay.
And I'm like, Esmond, what do you think? Should we give it to him?
Echelon's gonna reach out and try to snag Araya's hem before
You
she goes
definitely
off
can.
anywhere.
You definitely can.
Esmond, during this whole conversation, Esmond has gone slack-jawed and has sent Zephyrus to scout ahead.
Okay. So, you see Zephyrus flying ahead, and Aspen's eyes have kind of rolled back.
I address the fake creature and I say, you understand us being a little suspicious given our last event. It looks like some of my friends are checking out to make sure where we're supposed to be.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, as long as... I mean, this is it. This is what you want to take you to. Take your time. But, I would just be careful.
Mm-hmm.
So Araya's gone invisible, and Ishtalan
And
has grabbed
Echelon
her
grabbed
hand.
my hand and like, huh?
Yep.
And
And
then
Zephyrus is flying a bit.
Yeah, I'm cutting into his eyesight for as long as I'm able to see.
Okay, yeah. Esmond weaves through the trees, moving. Are you high or low, or how's Esmond? How's Esmond moving through Zephyrus?
Oh, Zephyrus is moving high, sticking to the treetops.
Yeah. As you move through the treetops, move around a thick bunch of trunks, and what you see does indeed seem to be a slumbering creature. It's kind of on its side in a big tangle of what seems to be gnarled growth of tree roots. It's quite big if you had to estimate. 20 feet in diameter. Bulbous. Limbs surprisingly frail for the size of its body. It is this enormous toad slumbers with its tongue half hanging out of its mouth. You hear a low snoring.
I report all this back to the group. You said that the creature is covered in bramble. Is it like the bramble is like growing around it, or it's like kind of buried itself
Just,
underneath it?
it seems to have just made like a little home out of it.
Okay. Is there a portal or a doorway or something that looks like would lead elsewhere?
You don't see anything, but you didn't see anything on the way out either. It's not it's not like a tear. You didn't experience that arriving here either.
No, not. No, that's true. Okay. I'll bring Zephyrus back and come back to the group. Okay, yeah. Buddy was correct. That thing looks dangerous. So, I would recommend that we sneak around if possible.
I take one look down at my metal armor and I'm like, gonna need some assist with that. Maybe not the quietest, but do you think we should give him the biscuit?
Yeah, definitely.
You
You're
already chimed in. I'm just asking you. Looking at us.
Tell her to give him the biscuit.
I mean, I didn't make the deal. That if we've reached the point that we agreed that Buddy would take us to, then sounds like the deal is met. So,
But do you think we've reached the actual point where, I mean, Ishtalan, are you there? And I'm looking around for Ishtalan.
I'm not. She's not invisible. She's just sitting there.
As you guys are talking, Albert says, "Keep an eye on the back. We should do this quickly." And he kind of
Just give him the fucking biscuit and let's go.
I look at Ishtalan and I'm like, Ishtalan, you were with me when we figured out the last illusion. Do you think we're actually where we're supposed to be?
Girl, you're the one who figured that one out. I'm not the guy
Yeah.
in here.
But you were the only other person with me who wasn't immediately, I don't know, you seem suspicious too.
I think the only way we can find out is by going, and if not, then we fight the thing and we try move on to our next option.
Okay. I gingerly hand the wrapped packet to the Fae.
Also, it's just a biscuit.
His eyes go wide. He kind of carefully puts his small hands together out to take it.
It's not just a biscuit. It's a good biscuit.
Thank you so much. Okay, he takes the remaining 3/4 and kind of hungs it close and sniffs it.
Hey, buddy. You're about to go back to where you came from, okay?
Yeah, okay. And just then, an arrow hits Buddy in the eye. His head snaps back, hits the ground, the biscuit hits the snow next to him.
Can I heal him? Is he...
Someone swings around and names the arrow at presumably Albrecht.
Yeah, Albrecht.
She looks at... Ava gives the most cutting look over to Kabeth and just, you couldn't just give him the fucking biscuit. And gets ready to...
Yeah, you swing around, aiming the arrow at Albrecht, and he lowers his bow. You showed him how to get to Glenhollow.
Fair enough. She lowers her bow.
What the fuck? What do you mean we showed him how to get to Glen?
I've never seen such a creature of any kind wander in. Glenhollow showed itself to me.
Did you ever think that it may have just trapped you there and been feeding on you this whole time? And she turns and starts walking through the thick of the woods.
I don't get a heal, buddy.
Esmond will
Buddy,
grab onto you, Ava.
It still looks like
She steps on the biscuit as she's walking that way.
Squid biscuit.
Enemies. Complete enemies from now on, Ava.
Alright, but if we're gonna do this, we need to just be smart and about this. Esmond goes through his satchel and pulls out a small bag.
I should go last because I am the noisiest, and then at least most of you can make it to the other side before any kind of fight happens. If something happens,
I can cast silence around
and
it. Nothing can be heard anyway, and then it'll sleep
it's
very
magic.
peacefully.
You don't know if it'll work.
It's silence.
We have numerous options available to us. Kabeth, I was going to offer this to you anyways. From Desmond's keep, Dust of Disappearance.
But
We'll
will
give
it make
this.
you quiet?
It'll help you be a bit more quiet, at least.
You guys still have password address?
Uh-huh. How does it work in this version of the world?
It's a +10 to any stealth roll you make.
Okay. All right. Well, if we think that the magic that's letting us get by quietly was good enough, and then if you think I should use the disappearance stuff too, but I still think I should go last because at least then you guys will all be past it.
Ray's idea of making it silent around it seems like the best one to me.
Yeah.
Sure.
Also, sorry, I might have been mistaken. Dust of Disappearance, does it do pass without a trace, or does it do something else?
Dust of Disappearance, let me read it because I have it pulled up here. Let's see, throw dust into the air and each creature and object within 10 feet of you become invisible for 2d4 minutes.
Okay, that does something that I thought. The reason I was interjecting is because you had a thing that I thought it did.
We could We could just do all of it. Whatever this dust thing is, I still have the thing that makes us quieter, and then make it silent around it. Just really hedge our bets.
Okay, well, as many people gather around me, and we'll go invisible. We'll sneak around and get back to wherever we're going to come out from.
Okay, me please. The armor's safe, but not quiet.
Yeah, how many?
Ava casts Decompose on his little body.
DM, how many people can fit around Esmond? It says within 10 feet.
You see Buddy's body dissolve and flowers grow up through the snow.
Ava,
12?
Ava, you all right?
Let's get going, guys. Come on.
Okay, yeah. I'll instruct as many people that can bunch around Esmond within 10 feet to do that, and then once as many people that can fit are gathered, he will throw the dust of disappearance up into the air.
Before he throws the dust, Ava will say, if we can't see each other, we don't have no idea which direction we're heading, and we can't follow each other's footprint.
And that's why we hold hands. It's a buddy system. Now when we no longer have a buddy.
Esmond, do you feel a ring slip onto your finger?
No, really?
At this time?
That's quiet about it, but you've had this ring before. You know that it's tied to a spell.
No, we're too young.
We're the same age, and it's fine. We're
so
adults.
young.
We're adults. Beth will take your damage for you. You know.
He's minutes older than you.
Yeah.
Die any second.
Throw once everyone is gathered, throw dust of disappearance into the air. And roll 2d4 for how long it lasts.
It's just such a terrible plan.
With our luck, it'll be 2 minutes.
This is not a good idea.
Hey, 4 minutes. That's not bad.
Uh-huh. Great.
Yeah,
Reminder
Casey's
also. Oh, I was just going to say, reminder also, if you're standing within 10 feet of Kabeth and you have to make a certain kind of roll, I think there's saving throws, but I'll double check. You get a +2.
I think we need to establish who is holding hands with whomst. Before we go invisible.
Well,
Echelon was already holding onto Araya. So.
Yeah, Esmond's already thrown the dust, right?
Yep.
yeah.
So you vanish.
Everyone just grabs onto a bunch of different people.
Okay. Yeah, presumably you guys feel around trying to grab on. So whatever at first seems like it might be a hand.
Oh.
Sorry.
Keep it above the shoulders, people.
Look, that's my nose.
Okay, we don't have a lot of time with this one, so everyone just find a partner and let's start moving.
Is everyone holding onto someone?
Yep.
I'll say yes at once. Love it. Let's go. Let you have a chance.
Probably after a moment. It probably takes a moment, but after a while, everyone seems to be holding somebody's hand.
When you have the chance and you see it, try kissing it. So.
Can't hear you.
Yeah,
Chris,
no,
you said
You were
but
super
it's-
quiet.
no, you were quiet, but also Araya can't hear shit, so.
Did Casey do the psychic whispers?
I posted it in the log, but it's also funny. It's funny if we can't talk to each other.
Echelon, I think, would still say it. I mean, Arraya's not there, but maybe she turned uninvisible after having been turned invisible.
Oh, but she didn't, because this was a terrible plan.
This is such a good plan,
This was
Ava. Shut up.
this was your plan.
This was not my plan. I
This was
didn't
the
say.
plan.
This was the result of your plan.
Yeah, this was the result. Never mind. Go ahead. All right. Everyone's invisible. We're kind of blindly groping to each other. Araya can't hear anything, and we're stumbling in a direction towards a giant beast.
You reach a point where everyone is holding someone's hand.
Moving forward.
Moving forward. Yeah, as you guys begin to move forward, just let me have everyone roll just a straight d20.
It's my best thing.
Are you doing that because we get a +2 on saving throws, Chris?
No, this is just for something.
This is our, by luck order.
It's the hand-holding check.
Ava, no.
Right.
It's not there.
Yeah, we're going to say... We'll do this at one perspective at a time. Salinger. Holding somebody's hand on either side of you. And you guys are not silenced, right? You can hear?
Correct.
Yeah, you hear muffled, though, because of the magic, some crunching in the snow. You can tell people are beginning to move. You're waiting for the leader to move ahead of you. You realize neither person on either side of you is moving. And Ava, you're holding someone's hand. It must be Salinger on that side. You're not sure about the other. But neither of them are moving.
She lets go of their hands and starts walking.
Okay, Salinger, you have both hands?
Yeah.
Salinger, you feel Ava, let's go. Starts walking off alone.
That's not a good idea.
She stops. And fumbles back in that direction, bumps into him, gropes around, grabs onto the hand, just holding on to the giant hand of Sal.
Shoulders up here.
Go.
Peach, Ava also let go of your hand.
Peach would search for it. If she knew it was Ava, she'd be calling out, "Hey, Ava, hey, don't. What are you doing?
She reaches
Stick with the
back,
group."
grabs towards Peach.
Yeah, you grab Peach's hand. Alright, so now you have Peach's hand on one side, Salinger on the other side.
If no one else starts walking, she starts walking.
And you're like pulling them with you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, so the circle of you begins to move toward that direction.
Wait, so are Peach and Salinger's hands linked on the other side?
It's Peach, Salinger,
It's not like a
Casey,
line.
Ava in a circle.
As she does that, she pauses for a second,
Salinger, Casey, Ava in a circle.
and she stops and says, "Peach, are you holding someone else's hand?"
Peach looks at her other hand and...
It must be Casey.
It must be Casey. Apparently.
Okay. I'm going to be at the front. You're going to be at the back. And she lets go of Peach's hand and says, "We're going to lead in a line." And she just starts walking. We'll be like, and to be more like a snake.
Casey, you feel that both of Peach's hands take yours.
Yeah, I was wondering why 2 people grabbed my hands. Yeah, we should move.
You guys been moving on. You start to make your way, presumably unseen, unseeing those around you. Looks the brush up towards the trees, to the top of the hill. You can see slumbering and snoring this great beast of a toad. You can see that they're much smaller creatures. As you get closer, that are attending it, they're like maybe cleaning it. Not really sure. They're kind of swarming around like ants. Just smaller little things. But the toad doesn't seem to mind. Every now and then, something like crawls into its mouth. As you guys move to sneak by, we have everyone please roll stealth. You need to make a 20 in order to not wake the creature.
And we all get plus 10, correct?
You know, plus 10. You might have disadvantage from armor.
We are all advantaged because we're invisible, and we have a plus 10 due to pass without a trace.
Well, the creature's eyes are closed. It can't see you anyway, so this is all sound-based.
So we don't get advantage for being invisible?
Its eyes are closed. It can't see anything.
You get advantage if it attacks us, or if we attack it, assuming it doesn't have a true sight or something. So it's not all lost.
I have sound-based advantage. Elf shoes. Ooh,
I know
37! I got it. I got a critical.
I know the music made a pig noise, but it sounded like a frog.
42.
30.
We needed a 25, right? I feel like I got that.
We needed a 20. You said.
It's plus 10. We are good.
I think we all beat 20.
So too.
Sounds are so stealthy. Yeah.
Did anyone get under a 20?
We were very nervous.
Nope.
Sorry, what was it? Oh, anyone under a 20? I don't think so.
Alright. You guys seem to sneak past the slumbering lord of the forest. Moving, leaving him behind. For too long you've moved past trees and hills. And after a while, in the snow, you see a figure. You realize they have a cart. Or there's 2 figures in a cart. You realize they're on a road.
Are these figures
Ava
recognizable?
looks at the figures that she can probably see pretty deep.
With your keen eyes, vision granted to you by the cursed circlet on your brow. Your vision picking up every little detail. Yeah, well, it looks like a couple. They're bundled in winter clothing. They're pulling a handcart, thick gloves. They're on the way toward you, but they don't seem to have seen you yet. There seem to be covered bundles in the cart behind them.
Can Ava make out what race of people they are? What species of people they are?
Humanoid, but they're bundled up. It's hard to tell.
Hey, let's not start profiling already.
I gotta know if it's a dirty, filthy human or not.
We gotta find out if it's
talk to them
purple
otherwise.
with not enough fingers, because purple with not enough fingers does us dirty.
Where they are, if there's a big marker of any kind, like a large boulder or a tree or anything like that close to the road, Ava will walk that direction.
Okay. Yeah. So you're moving behind a large boulder.
No, moving to something that's basically a landmark of some kind, something that stands out on the road, basically.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good. Yeah, there's
And
sort of a triangular kind of looking rock next to the road.
okay, from there, she's gonna place Sal's hand on the rock and say, "Wait here. I'm gonna go see if I can get a better look." And she's gonna scamper off, letting go of his hand. She's gonna scamper off towards the road and try to get a better look at the humanoids on it.
You already could see them perfectly, so you do not get it.
Oh, in that case, she gets closer to them, and as she gets closer, she calls out to them.
Yes.
Is this within the 4 minutes?
I was gonna say, yeah, it'll take you longer to get
Okay.
through them, but you're on the way.
Okay. But am I invisible, or are we not uninvisible? I don't know how long it's passed, or if the spell's still up. I assumed we were still invisible.
Well, we'll say you've gotten about what you perceive to be about halfway there, and then you realize you can see your own hands. And everyone appears.
Cool. Yeah. She keeps running towards the road and sort of waves towards the figures who are walking on the.
Yeah. As you call out to them, they stop and look up. They hadn't been looking that far into the distance. They stop what they're doing. One of them looks, if you had to guess, looks frightened. The other one steps forward a little bit, puts a hand, what seems to be kind of under his coat.
Okay.
Who's there?
Hello. Hi. I don't mean harm.
The meek tone of your voice, the figure seems to relax.
Echelon keeps an arrow knocked to the bow and just lurks in the background.
Eva continues running with her hands kind of up.
Hello. The person steps forward. Yeah, you realize that they seem to be good to guess for the tone of their skin, probably an earth genasi.
Oh, hi. I know this might be a strange question, but where's the closest city to this area? My friends and I got lost, and I'm trying to get my bearing.
Me and my sister are on the way to there's said to be a temple 2 more days south from here. On the way, and it might be safe.
Oh, okay. Safe is good, especially where we've come from.
Where have you come from?
We were lost in the Feywild.
Truly. Well, you should come with us. There's said to be shelter at the temple of the Maiden Thrice.
Yeah. Yeah. We're sure. She waves back towards the rest of the group. My friends are over there. They'll come this way. None of us mean anyone harm. I'm Ava, by the way.
Willow.
Nice to meet you. Where'd you come? Where are you guys coming from?
They kind of hesitate for a moment, glance at each other, uncertain. Where did you say you're from?
Shepherd's End?
I don't know of it. We're coming from a place called the Shiver Court. Bad things happening there.
Bad things have happened everywhere, but what's happening at the Sugar Court?
There'd be much to explain. Better to talk on the road. Come with us.
She offers to help try to pull the cart. Well,
yeah. After a moment more, the group begins to move south farther down the road until eventually running into the greater group of the others of you. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Yay. What's the tip? I completely am so bad with names, Chris. What's
Shiver
the
Court.
It's
part
north
of Luck.
Shepherd's End.
But
Yeah.
someplace north, yeah.
Oh.
If you check
Hey!
the Eastphalen map, in the handouts. They're north of us by several weeks. It looks like, if not months.
Damn.
Oh, Shiver
But we're
Corp.
out of the
Heard
Feywild.
Sugar Corp. At, like, Sugar Corporation? I was like, that's a weird name for a place, but sure.
Your character are seeping into you too much.
Kibeth is taken over, man.
Listen, I ran out the door this morning with bread in my mouth, so, it's just who I am. It's fine. I was late. I had the only thing in the house was bread. I took the bread with me.
Ooh, Chris, can I do one thing before we end?
Oh, yeah, sure, a little stinger.
Yeah. After everyone meets up, introductions are had and everything like that, as they're traveling along the path, Casey grabs the back of Araya's robes and slows down a bit and kind of pulls her to the back of the group. Give me your hand.
Yeah?
Did you hear what that guy said his name was? Willow? Really? Are you joking? Casey snaps his finger and a ball of fire appears in his hand. And he flips it over into Araya's hand as he hits her with a fire spell. It burns her hand.
No, it doesn't.
It does, though.
We roll for damage, because no, it doesn't.
Are you immune to fire?
I am resistant.
Resistant.
So I mean, it's going to hurt a little bit. That's no biggie.
So here's the thing.
Read the ability. Or read it out loud.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Casey is so hot right now. His flames ignore resistance to fire damage.
Stop with that! Hold on, let me read my stuff.
So
Well, I already logged out of roll 20.
That's why it's reading it.
Who's Willow? What Willow are you talking about? Are our friends like walking ahead of us? Alright, fine, I take 1d8 damage.
yeah, so you take 4 fire damage.
Scorching pain spreads through your palm.
Oh,
Casey stares at her intently.
sucked, Casey. Why did it actually hurt? It doesn't usually hurt.
Did you,
Splash you in the face like maiden's water, right? Just straight in his face.
Yeah.
It's healing water! Sacred, beautiful water. Partially to heal her hand, but also splashing Casey in the face.
no,
dare
it's... You're not awake, right?
Please roll a charisma saving throw.
14.
Everything's
10. What the?
everything.
I will
seems fine.
spend 2 spark points to
No,
allow
I
Araya.
have 10. I have 10. I can reroll.
The question is, do we want a high roll or a
you.
low roll?
26.
No, both are good. This is fine. But 26. Yes.
Give me a second.
I mean, I had to make sure you were
make
awake.
Excuses after the fact. You made that hurt on purpose.
With the 26, everything seems fine.
I'm gonna, but sorry, but I was trying to chime in. They were talking. I'm gonna add a d6 to that, just to see.
Yes, but the question is it a high-low or a roll you want? Because
Yeah.
some of us have been through this before, and it may not be what you think.
Yeah, sometimes, because I rolled low previously, but I didn't take any of the extra fancy fey damage. But I accept the high roll path that I have chosen. I'm
30,
going high
30
this time.
charisma save is pretty buff.
30 charisma save.
With a 4, that makes it a 30. And everything seems fine.
Hey, all right. Everything's fine except for the burn on your hand.
No, well, I healed
That's
it.
way too trusting.
Safe water.
Yeah, Casey stares at her a bit longer and is like, okay. You look great, by the way. And then...
Casey, Casey,
loose
don't
floor.
you dare use me for experiments. You gotta let me in on the what? Did you think that I was Faye? Wait,
I had
no.
to be sure.
Just because he was named after a tree?
Oh, Ishla?
Whenever this is done.
No, yeah, I'm walking ahead with everyone.
I think she kind of lingers behind as she had been standing off in the distance threateningly. But eventually, when Ava calls everyone over and people start to filter forward, she stays behind for a minute, slings a bow over her shoulder, thumbs the scimitar out of the scabbard for a minute, and speaks a word. And it bursts into flame as she holds the blade a bit. And holds her breath.
Take 1 point of
Looks
fire
around.
damage.
Oh. And sees nothing changing, and
Roll a charisma saving throw, please. 18. Everything seems fine.
and swears, draws it out of the scabbard, just hurls it forward in front of her frustration. Looks at it for a moment, panting, and then trots forward, pick it up, resheath it, and follows after.
As your group begins to travel south on the road, heading towards the Temple of Maiden Thrice, but from the north, direction from which you've seldom, if ever, come. You move into the snowy landscape. Faithful and everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. And that's where we'll end for tonight.
Nothing to worry about.
I'm so glad that we're back safe. I feel very good about this.
We just had to
It's all very
sacrifice
believable.
a beautiful little fairy who did nothing but help us for a biscuit.
And
Didn't even
lose,
have to sacrifice him. We didn't have to do that.
No, because we're not going back to the place where it was.
Do we have all of our little gang with us? Samsel and Fane and Albrecht?
Yes. Yeah.
So Albert came with us. That's not over, but we'll
I
address that
figured
next
that'll
time.
probably. Yeah, I didn't want to drag that out into a long scene. But.
Yeah.
I like that Casey picked me to take out his. I also hate that your burning resists burning. That's screwed up.
Rude.
I was actually going to say, everybody is now gearing up to kill you. Between
What?
Salinger revealing that Salui's
hell?
spear is meant to kill demons, and then
I'm feeling
now,
particularly persecuted.
It's like, I'm just being really attacked right now.
That's-
well, not for good reason, but
It's my one great regret from this session is revealing that fact. Because I was going to wait until I cast Fireball in the midst of a battle in a serious situation to reveal that fact.
Also rude.
Lord.